Blimey! Hello all, I did a walkthrough of a boat at the Palm Beach show about 2-3 weeks ago, and funny enough, a friend of mine bought it at the show, and I thought, seeing as she's out of water and he's having a few upgrades done, that I'd show you why these things are so expensive. For one thing, they're really big when they're out of water, so they're a lot bigger than you think. Also, this thing weighs more than a Greyhound bus, and it's got to be able to fall 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 feet off a wave without anything breaking or getting damaged, so they've got to be very, very strong. I mean, this is a beautifully built boat. It's a Fairline, built in England. Attention to detail, I mean, this boat is fully loaded, so it's particularly spectacular. It's got a gorgeous stainless steel anchor, got a bow thruster. You can see these big full length windows, and I spoke about IPS drives or pod drives, which are these, which face the wrong way. So these are computer controlled, and they move around independently and vector thrust, so you can actually make the boat go sideways or spin around in circles or do all sorts of things just on the joystick, because they move independently, and they can vector their thrust independently, and the computer does all the work. So these things here, just these drives alone, are pretty pricey things. Not sure exactly how much, but certainly 30, 40, maybe even $50,000 each. This boat also has active trim tabs. So these things, these Humphrey trim tabs, and unlike normal tabs that kind of flap around, these are like wedges and they drop down. But these are also computer controlled, so they work independently to keep the boat straight and level. So a little bit like a stabilizer system almost. Not quite as effective, but they do a phenomenal job. Very impressed with those. This is the hydraulic stern gear. So this will carry a lot of weight. Moves up and down at the push of a button, so you can drop it down into the water and use it like a beachy type thing to sit on. Continuing around, we've got underwater lights, 2 of them. These here. These are blue and white as far as I know. They look like it. So I'm going to continue up on board. So the new owner is having a massive custom sound system put on, because although the one wasn't bad on board, it just wasn't as good as it possibly could be. So these are the engines, as you can see where the pods are here. There's the control system and the pods, which are much shorter than conventional shaft drives. The engines would have to be much further forward, so consequently it can have a much bigger aft stateroom. And you've got a generator off to the right. So yeah, above here, that's the tender garage. So this rises up hydraulically, so you can get to the engine and work on the engines. Otherwise it's a bit tight. And you've got access hatches. You can see that either side, just to sort of poke your head down and see what's going on. So I'm going to continue on. So little bits and pieces. We've got shower here. These are the various buttons for the swim platform that we saw, raising that hatch and so on and so forth. And I think I should talk about sound systems on these things, because you don't just get any ordinary guy to put in a new upgraded sound system, because it's pretty complex. As well as that, with boats, the navigation equipment is very, very sensitive to magnets, and of course speakers have big magnets, amplifiers have big magnets, so whoever's installing it has got to find somewhere to put all this equipment without getting anywhere near any of the GPS computers or GPS compass or autopilot compass, because it will screw everything up essentially. So you do have to have somebody that really knows what they're doing to do their work. There's also not enough space, or not much space, to put stuff in. So if you think he's introduced these new speakers, had to get cabling in, down, around here. This is sealed here. There's only a tiny, this is all sealed here. There's only a tiny little hole to get through, so he's had to pull half the boat apart to get to everything. But yeah, this is going to have a monster sound system, 1800 watts of amplification, and the speakers are going to change colour as well, because they have RGB lighting behind them, all done by remote control. So you can see he's had to pull out the refrigeration, the ice maker, to find a place for the amps where they're far enough away from anything that can cause a problem. So it's a lot of work. And Corey, I think, has been on this boat for 4 days now. 4 days crawling around in the squashiest, tightest little spaces to get this stuff done. So I think he's reaching the end of his patience. So I'm going to leave him be for a minute because he's going to get up and probably slap me. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, there's more speakers going down here, and a big subwoofer down there. So yeah, this thing is going to be absolutely full of sound. There's also a custom yacht sign being built for the back that changes colour. So those were the only things really that this boat was lacking. I mean, it has absolutely everything. But it's lovely to see this thing sold and going to a great owner. Guy's a friend of mine, a really nice guy. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And it's going to the Midwest, to the Great Lakes. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe,